live streaming channel. Yes. I hate the way I look on camera. What is this? I don't like this little, my nose looks big. How big? I look like I'm about 500 pounds. Have you ever said any of these things to yourself? Yeah, maybe. Do you ever think that it affects how you actually do on camera when you go on camera and you're thinking all these things? Especially the part about, I hate how I look on camera? Okay. Well, my name is Rose Cayazzo, and I am an on-camera and voiceover talent that has been doing this for about 2 decades now. And I've been in the social media business in addition to the on-camera world, and now the worlds are colliding, which is why I have this specific YouTube channel about live streaming and the secrets of live streaming. So let's talk about this today. This is a myth in live streaming, which is I hate how I look on camera. I use that word hate because it is so unimaginably terrible to say it to yourself or out loud. I mean, to use that word, everyone knows I don't use the word perfect. I also try not to use the word hate, but I know a lot of people do this to themselves. So let's talk about that today, shall we? So yes, I am traveling today, and yes, this was the only location that I could find good enough for me to be able to live stream from because it is so windy out there. Oh yeah, sure wind. You're just not even going to show yourself now? Literally like whipped my hair up and around my head, my face, in my nostrils, everywhere. And I thought, okay, well, I can't live stream outside because it's too windy. And because my hair is going to be doing this the whole time. So we're just going to stay inside today. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Oh, shut that right. I am in Idaho today, not in Wyoming where I live. So I did have to find a cool place. And I thought, well, there's a whole lot of nothing going on here in Idaho. So we got some blue sky there. We got some whole lot of nothing there. And I was going to go stand out in a big thing of hay bales, and the wind was just way too much. Back to the matter at hand, which is women say to themselves, I hate the way I look on camera. They say, I've had women tell me different things, either about themselves, like, I can't go on camera. And I'm like, why not? And they say, because I don't like my weight. I need to lose weight before I go on camera. Okay. And then I've had women say to me, my voice is too high. People think that I'm a child and I get made fun of. Okay. These are very valid reasons to feel like you want to hide away and not put yourself out there. For sure. I get it. We have to feel comfortable with ourselves before we can actually feel comfortable to get on camera. But let me explain a few things to you, okay? I say that when women say, I hate how I look on camera is a myth. And the reason why I say this is because, there's a couple things you can do. And the main thing is that you have to think about getting over yourself. Like, why does my face look so weird on camera? I don't like the way I look. I hate the way I look, however you say it, right? There's one thing I want you to know. There's a couple things that happen when you're on camera as opposed to when you look at yourself in the mirror, which is what we're used to. So as women, we look in the mirror every day. Maybe we don't need to look in the mirror to brush our teeth. We're trying to do something else. When we comb our hair, we don't even really have to be looking into the mirror until the very end, right? But at some point, we're going to be looking in a mirror to make sure that our hair is not standing straight up on our head, that we don't have a stain on our clothing, these types of things that mirrors help us with every day. Now, looking in a mirror every day has us look at ourselves in a particular way. Stay with me here. Each side of your face is actually different, right? No two sides of a face are so symmetrical that they are perfectly the same. So for an example here on my face, I have what we call a beauty mark right here. Yeah, I've loved it for years. You know where I'm going with this. So I have this beauty mark here, and I'm used to seeing it on this side of my face when I look in the mirror every day. But when I get on camera, everything starts to get reversed. And if you're not used to looking at yourself on camera, you look almost strange to yourself. So when you see yourself on camera, you're like, I don't like the way I look. I hate the way I look. I look terrible on camera. It's only because you haven't seen yourself as a flipped image of yourself. I know it seems crazy, ladies, but you have to try this. Listen, I'm in a lot of women's groups talking to women about getting themselves on camera because their business message is so important to get out there, right? You guys are doing some really important work out there, including mine, which is getting women on camera. But I watched something happen the other day that just really shook my world. There was a woman who said, literally like in a Facebook group, you know, with like a colored background. This is what she said. I did a live video yesterday and I didn't die! Exclamation point. I will do this again. Okay. It had like over 200 likes. I can't even remember the number of comments, but it was like maybe 150 comments of women congratulating her. Like, wow, that's great. You're awesome. You did it. Woohoo. And I also was in that group. Like, wow, this is great. Good for you. Good for you. Women empowering other women. This is how I see things, right? Women are empowering women all the time, even with live streams that can be very difficult for us to get ourselves on camera because we have this notion that we don't like the way we look. But really, it's about you not being used to looking at yourself in a different way on camera. I promise. Most of these women in that group said, hey, I do it all the time too. And actually, it gets easier every time. And it does. It gets easier every time, especially if you know your message and you want to be visible to the world for your message. So another one I saw in a Facebook group was a woman positioned it differently. And she said, who wants to go on a live stream with me in Instagram to showcase your service or products? Well, you should have seen the amount of women that raised their hand. Me, 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 me. Me, I want to tell the world. Me, I want to tell the world. Maybe they'll let you do it if you are saying, hey, you want to come with me and do that with me? Women are like, yeah, I want to do that with you. You know why? Because I don't want to do it by myself. Okay, we get it. It's okay. If you want to start out in that way, that's great. Get yourself on a podcast, a vodcast, a video, a live broadcast. I'm doing this. I'm going live. This is what I do, right? Because you can feel more comfortable on camera. And if you can do live streaming, ladies, you can do anything. That's why I teach live streaming, because there's no production and you get over your mistakes and it's okay. You move through these things. The world is moving to live streaming. I promise you, this is where the world is going. This is where I want you to go. This is where I'm going with you. This is where I'm going to teach you. So no more of this, I hate the way I look on camera, okay? Because what you're going to do is you're going to do a whole bunch of videos and you're going to watch yourself on camera until you can say, I'm over myself. I can do this. Okay? Now, if you're curious about live streaming, the one thing that I would love, love, love for you to do is join my private ladies only Facebook group over at this link. It is called Facebook.com. Well, we all know that one. And, well, they're taking away live streaming that's been posted after 30 days, which I'm not a real big fan of. But we can only do what Facebook allows us to do, right? So in my private group of ladies only for my group. It's all about live streaming. If you're curious about live streaming, if you want to do a challenge, you want to challenge yourself with live streaming, if you want to watch a masterclass that I'm giving about live streaming, if you want to know better backgrounds to have, better lighting, better messaging, better strategy, go to this group, facebook.com/groups with an S. And then my group link is Live Streaming Secrets. Got it? Facebook.com/groups, Live Streaming Secrets. So being here on YouTube, I also have to say, like, share, comment, all the things, please, because I'd love that too. To get this little ditty here about my live streaming show about live streaming moving along, because it will move along. And I hope you ladies move right along with me. And the button, yeah, it's still on the top left. I ain't a lefty, and I'm holding this thing with my left hand, so guess what I gotta do? That's right, here comes the finger. I'm gonna make fun of it every time because it is so ridiculous. Before I press the button, before I press it, I have to say, F perfect. Ladies, just do it, just like Nike says. F perfect. Forget perfect and get yourself on camera. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. Keep it real and stand out by streaming live because it is your authentic edge in the AI age.